Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Colleen and I'm glad that you're here. I hadn't planned on making a video about today's dinner, but then I thought maybe it's something that you can put into your arsenal and use semi-regularly or once in a while even. And so while I've got a start on it here, I will explain what I'm doing and I will bring you up to date right after this. So today I'm making kind of a cheater's version of butter chicken lasagna, and I've done a bunch of different things here just because there's some things I wanted to get used up. So this is going to be a veggie lasagna, and I am going to cheat by using a jar of already prepared butter chicken sauce. These are jars that I just picked up at the Costco, recommended by my daughter-in-law, whose family seems to enjoy this brand, and it's pretty good. So I'm going to use it today on this video as well, which takes quite a bit of time out of it. The time that I'm saving, though, I'm going to be putting into a different endeavor, because today I'm going to be making zucchini lasagna, which means I need to be able to prepare the zucchini and get it ready and into the oven so it can dry some, because otherwise it just makes it too moist because zucchini holds so much water. But to start with, I'm going to put these onions, this one onion that I've chopped, I'm going to put it into the frying pan and get it sweating off, because again, we want most of the moisture gone from these vegetables. And so I'll start there and be right back. So I've got a lot going on here, but I think that if you just kind of follow along step by step, you should be all right. So I've got a lined baking sheet here. I probably wouldn't line this if my baking sheets weren't so old. And so I line them to protect the food that's going straight onto the pan. I'm just using small zucchinis like this because I picked up a bunch at the grocery store the other day. They were kind of a reasonable amount of money, and it's a good veggie, and we're really working hard to put more vegetables in our diet. So I want to, I don't have a mandolin or something like that, so I'm just using my vegetable peeler, and I'm going to start off and get rid of that first bit. But then I'm just going to make slices, and I'm going to add them to this baking sheet. Now, you could totally just lay them all out, all of the zucchini pieces, and you could salt them and leave them sit for about 10 minutes or 15 minutes even, and then blot them dry, because that would take a lot of the moisture out. Or you could do them maybe in a pan on the stove, maybe your little skillet, and just dry them out a bit that way. I'm going to throw them into the oven for a few minutes just to remove some of that moisture, so it's not making my butter chicken too soupy. Now, you can totally make this recipe with regular pasta noodles and it would be just fine, and just do it the way you would normally do a lasagna. But as I said, we're trying to put some more veggies in our diet, and I thought this might be a good way to accomplish that. So I have 2 pans ready to go in the oven, and the oven has just beeped it's ready. So I will bring you back here shortly. Now, as I indicated earlier, I have a lot of things going on here. So let me give you an idea of what's going on. In my freezer, I had some little leftover bags with vegetables in them. A little bit of spinach, not much, and a little bit of veggies that I used from a recipe the other day. And I want to include them in this recipe that I'm making right now. So I took them and I dumped them all out on some kitchen towel, just some paper towel, and I have squeezed them as much as I think I can without, you know, completely pulverizing the parts that shouldn't be pulverized. And I have that ready to go in there. And of course the rest of my veggies I'm working on right now are the onions, which I'm going to stir. And I also have the zucchini in the oven. So I'm just going to heat. It's got a ways to go. Also, back here in the sink, I have about 1 cup, 1.5 cups I started with of cottage cheese. And I found it was pretty wet too, so I put it in a strainer and just let it drain, and I did work some of the extra juice out of it. If you had ricotta cheese, that would be ideal, but that's not what I had in my fridge, and it's Wednesday and I've managed to avoid going uptown so far this week, so I was trying for one more day. I have to go out tomorrow. So I have that done. My husband and I both like cottage cheese, so this will work out great. And I will give this another stir. And then earlier I put, and it's still pretty hot, I put 3 chicken breasts into my Instant Pot with a bit of chicken stock, and I am just going to cut those into pieces so that I can have this bunch ready when the onions are ready, and they can go into the pan. Now, I'm making a meal for 2 of us, but you could certainly extend this just by upping the ingredients, the amounts. And I will try to remember everything and put it in the description box below, where I put all the information for all of my videos. Go into the description box below. So if you're looking for a recipe and you can't follow along with me because of time constraints, then definitely go and have a peek there. Now, got these guys all done, and I'm going to now dump them in with the onions. It's actually a lot of chicken. Now I'm going to open this jar of butter chicken sauce. It says it's premium cooking sauce. Any brand would work. This just happens to be the one I have on hand. So now I'm just going to dump this into the pan, and I will check to make sure that it's moist enough in there, and I'll turn the pan down quite low so it's just a gentle simmer. Well, it smells delicious. I think it's going to work out just fine. So I think I have all the components here ready. I can start putting this all together. And it really didn't take that much time, folks. I think it's just a little bit of planning, but not bad. So I am going to butter this dish because I feel like if I don't, it's going to stick to the pan, and I want cleanup to be easy. So I've just turned a plastic bag inside out, taken a piece of butter from my butter dish, and I've coated the inside of the pan. Now, because I have some left over, I'm just going to grab a hold of it and pull it back, and I will be able to keep it like that in the fridge for the next time that I'm preparing to do something like that. So I have the meat just over on the stove bubbling away, and I am going to just set it out here so that it's close by me. Try and organize everything a little bit for this layering process. Get the cheese open. I'm using mozzarella right now, but I think this would be really great with 3 cheese Italiano as well. Now I'm just going to take a bit of the chicken and sauce and cover the bottom of the pan, just lightly, not a lot. I think I'll get you a better view here. Now, I've got that first layer on, And I'm just going to add some of the drained veggies to this right now, just a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot, or you can add as much veggie as you like. It's entirely up to you. I want to make a couple layers, so I'm going to reserve some back. And there we go. Now, a bit of the cottage cheese mixture, just scatter it about. And I'm going to add a little bit of the mozzarella. Not heavy coverage, just a little bit. Now I'm going to reach back here and grab a pan and show you that they're still pliable, but they definitely have lost some of their water. So I'm going to make a layer of zucchini noodles over the whole entire thing. And then I'm going to just start over. I'm going to put in a layer of meat. Boy, oh boy, it smells so good. Now, if there's leftovers of this dish, I will definitely be putting it aside for my hubby's lunch for tomorrow. I'm going to add another handful of veggies, some more cottage cheese, another handful of mozzarella, there we go, and repeat until I've used up all the ingredients. There we go, last layer into the pan. And I'll clean up the edges here too because I've made a bit of a mess. So let me do that. I'd have done a much better job of this had I planned this in advance. And then last but not least, I'm going to top it off with another big handful of mozzarella cheese. Now I'm going to put this in a 400-degree oven just until it bubbles in the middle, so probably around 25 to 30 minutes, and then dinner will be ready. So I hope that you enjoy it, and if you do, you would consider liking it, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Until next time, take care everyone. Bye-bye.